So welcome to the class, and in this I'm going to talk about autonomous items on the balance of payments and accommodating items on balance of payments. And to understand accommodating items on balance of payments, I'm going to just tell you something about official reserve transactions, which we have done before, but I think one needs a little more of understanding. But before that, okay, let's just do official reserve transactions first. Just have a look while I'll just tell you what I've written. So, official reserve transactions are the transactions carried out by the monetary authorities of a country. So, this causes changes in the official reserves. The significance of such transaction is to cover a deficit or surplus in the balance of payments. Thus, official reserve transactions are accommodating transactions of balance of payments. The central bank may finance a deficit through official reserve sale. So it leads to a decrease in its official reserves of foreign exchange. So it may also use surplus of purchase. It may use surplus to purchase foreign securities, foreign currency, gold, etc. That will lead to an increase in official reserves. So the decrease in official reserve is called the overall balance of payment deficit. And if you're talking about increase in official reserve, is called the overall surplus in the balance of payment. So basically, once again, I hope you understood this, that they are carried out by the government. The monetary authorities are what? The government and the central bank, to affect countries' foreign exchange reserves. So we've done that in the last year previously. So see, when we are doing autonomous receipts and autonomous payments, they give rise to either deficits or surplus on balance of payment. So the central bank may finance balance of payment deficit by reducing reserves of foreign currency, or even by borrowing from the IMF or monetary authorities. When the balance of payment deficit is financed by reducing foreign exchange reserves, this decrease in reserves is shown as credit item in the balance of payment account. So this is shown as a credit item, so that you have to be a little careful. And in case of a balance of payments surplus, the surplus amount is taken out from the balance of payment account. So this is shown as a debit item in balance of payment account, which may result in increase in the reserves of the nation. So official reserve transactions can be both accommodating as well as autonomous, but generally these transactions are called accommodating when carried out to keep balance of payment identity, and they are used mainly for accommodating items. But sometimes, yes, they are also called autonomous if carried out due to some other motive, like to stabilize the external value of the domestic currency in that case. So having said that, now we come to what is known as autonomous items on the balance of payment and the accommodating items on the balance of payment. Just have a look here. So what are these? Now they're very important now. There are two types of items that take place in balance of payment account. So they are autonomous items and they are accommodating items. Autonomous and accommodating. So what are these autonomous items? They are transactions. These transactions refer to those international economic transactions which are undertaken for some economic motives, such as profit maximization, say earning of interest, etc. So these items take place both on current account and capital account. So autonomous items, don't think it's just current account, it's both current and capital account. For example, export of tea to England, imports of crude oil, etc. So these transactions are independent of the state of the country's balance of payment. In other words, these are not related to established balance of payment identity. So we are not bothered. Suppose you and me, we are in the trade business, we don't care if it's balancing or if there's an imbalance. We just have to see what are our benefits. So it's like that. So these items are generally called above the line items in the balance of payment, as they are recorded as the first items before calculating surplus or deficit in balance of payment. So foreign exchange transactions that arises from these transactions are independent of other items. And what is really important is that deficit or surplus and balance of payment depends upon the balance of autonomous items. Okay, so now we come to accommodating items on the balance of payment. So what are these? These refer to those transactions which are done to cover the deficit or surplus in balance of payment. So these, remember, very important, these items take place only in the capital account, and they are also known as below the line as they are recorded after calculating deficit or surplus in balance of payment. So what are these examples? Say loans taken by India from IMF to cover balance of payment deficit, or reducing foreign exchange reserves, the one we just explained. I just explained right now. So what are these foreign exchange reserves? So these transactions are related to establish balance of payment identity. So these items are called below the line items, as they are recorded as secondary items after calculating surplus or deficit in balance of payment. Another thing, so foreign exchange transactions that arise from these items depend upon autonomous transactions. And government financing, official settlements are used as accommodating items to keep the balance of payment in balance. So we should clearly understand that autonomous items take place both on current account and capital account of balance of payments, and accommodating transactions take place only on the capital account after calculating the overall deficit or surplus in balance of payments. So in this regard, you must again understand what are official reserve transactions. So it is because of these that it is by reducing these reserves or increasing these reserves that a balance can be brought about in the balance of payments. So okay, I think that does it. You can get a question as what is the difference between accommodating item, or what is the difference between autonomous and accommodating items, and what is the role of say official, or write a short note on that, or just a 1 mark question on what are these official reserve transactions, or you can get a 1 marker as when are they used. So it is very interesting, balance of payments. I think with that finishes our balance of payment. That finishes unit 5. Maybe now we will do the questions later on. So that's it.